What it do, homies? It's your boy Dave, and I'm back today. We are about to check out a new YouTuber to me, Logically Answered, and he's doing TikToks or getting a harsh reality check. Now, I used to do TikTok, and then I stopped after about a month of uploading for various reasons. But we'll see if Logically Answered covers some of those reasons. Let's go ahead, shut up, and turn it up.
Before you go to the comment section and leave angry remarks, let me explain. TikTok only pays about 2 to 4 cents per 1,000 views, so even if you get a ridiculous amount of views, you're not making much. Take Cabby Lame for example. He's the most followed TikToker on the planet with a whopping 159 million followers and nearly 18 billion views. But in terms of ad revenue from TikTok, these 18 billion views only translates to $540,000. Now, that's not a bad amount by any means, but keep in mind, we're talking about the most followed TikToker in the world. For perspective, if you got the same number of views on YouTube, your total earnings would be closer to $54 million, assuming a $3 RPM. Now, of course, these TikTokers don't just rely on TikTok ads. They also do brand deals and sponsorships and affiliate marketing and all that stuff.
So for some people who don't understand, the $3 per RPM, essentially, obviously it's how much money that you get per 1,000 views, and it varies depending on what your niche is, right? I believe right now on YouTube, the niche with the highest RPM is probably education. I mean, I've seen some as high as $20, $40 per 1,000 views. So yeah, there's another reason why that is too.
Ads. They also do brand deals and sponsorships and affiliate marketing and all that stuff, which pulls in a whole lot of money. But the disparity between TikTok ads and YouTube ads is still staggering. I mean, we're talking about a 100x difference. And it's not just creators who are feeling the pain. TikTok is also very much feeling the pain, having lost $7 billion last year alone, and it's only getting worse. Vine was facing this same challenge 10 years ago, and this is the main reason that they eventually shut down. All of their most popular Viners would translate their audiences over to YouTube. This included Drew Gooden, David Dobrik, Danny Gonzalez, Cody Ko, and of course Logan Paul and Jake Paul. We're starting to see the exact same thing happen with TikTokers as well. Notable examples are Charlie D'Amelio, Bella Porsche, Addison Rae, and Call Me Chris.
Bella.
Call Me Chris, for example, has likely earned about $350,000 on TikTok, but she's already made millions on YouTube. This is not a great sign for TikTok in terms of longevity, as this is hard evidence that people are simply using TikTok as a springboard for YouTube or to jumpstart their music career, while the platform is burning billions. So here's TikTok's monetization crisis and the uncertain future of the platform.
Okay, so before he even jump into this, I was just about to say something similar to this, hesitant advertisers. So I think the biggest issue with short form content creation is that there is no relationship that is being built between the viewer and the creator, right? I mean, what average look on TikTok before somebody swipe away is like what, 4 or 5 seconds, right? And they might find something funny. They might absolutely love your content. But if you go to them 2 or 3 days from now and ask them who was that person you just watched, they wouldn't even know because of that relationship that wasn't built, which means more than likely the only time they're going to come back and visit your content is when they randomly appear upon it again, right? So since that relationship isn't what's built, that's what advertisers love, that relationship, right? Like me and you, we sitting here, we're talking, right? Even if you just watch 5 minutes of this, you can learn a lot about somebody in 5 minutes. My favorite food is dessert is marshmallows, right? I play video games in my spare time. I got a family, I'm married. When I graduated from K-State University, I work at a tech company right now. Like, you see how much of this that I've been able to tell you right now, this relationship, and it goes even further if I, as a reactor, am able to provide some value for you, right? Something that, you can take away from this video that he's probably not already going to cover. You can't get that on TikTok. It's too quick, right? And advertisers know that they don't have a lot of time to show what they need to show to the viewers because of how fast they're swiping back and forth between different type of videos. You know what I mean? And then when they do land on, they might, like, let's say an ad comes up, right? An ad pops up while they're watching. Because their brain is so trained to go so fast, they might not even have an additional 5 seconds to wait for that ad. They might just close the app You know what I mean? So, but yeah, it's my 2 cents.
By far, the largest shortcoming for TikTok is advertisers. Advertisers simply do not want to advertise on TikTok. It's easy to blame the medium for this reluctance. Most advertisers aren't used to making short-form ads in portrait mode. And this is true to a certain degree, but it's not the main reason. I mean, companies like Apple and Coca-Cola have marketing budgets in the hundreds of millions, if not billions.
That's crazy.
And they have hundreds, if not thousands of employees whose full-time jobs are to simply figure this out. So the reason that companies are reluctant to advertise on TikTok is not because they don't know how or can't figure it out.
Its animation
It's
is
because
smooth.
they don't want to. Why, you ask? Well, for one, it's not a very lucrative audience. 41% of TikTok users are between the ages of 16 and 24, which means that most of them don't have any money.
You know what's very interesting about this is that when I look at my demographics, most of the people who are viewing my videos are between the ages of 18 and I think 26, right? So not too far off right there. Don't have any money. Not too far off at all.
Are between the ages of 16 and 24, which means that most of them don't have any money. For perspective, this is how YouTube's audience demographic looks.
See, mine is kind of more boosted on the 18 to 24. It's mostly because of the content. And then second place, 100% will be 25 to 34. Now, if I'm doing reaction to like some old metal or something like that, like 80s metal, like Metallica or something, then that's generally when I start seeing this bump up, right? But you know, that comes every now and then. Usually it's one of these two.
As you can see, it's a lot more evenly dispersed. This in itself is a big turnoff for advertisers, but the issue goes much deeper than just demographics. Likely the biggest concern for most advertisers is brand optics. It's no secret that the content on TikTok is, how should I say it, edgy. You've got thirst traps, a bunch of cursing, and all this other stuff that YouTube tells you not to do. This is actually what has made TikTok so popular in the first place, but there's a reason that YouTube does not lean into this content. Advertisers simply do not want to be associated with this type of content. I mean, if you were Apple, would you really want your ad to play after this? I'm gonna guess no.
So he's 100% true. You know, there are some things that I even have to be careful about what I say on here. And in some cases, you would say that, you know, some of the TikTok creators that will go over to YouTube might become better businessmen in a sense, right? Because now they have to adhere to these rules. Now they have to think more creatively to be able to issue out the same content that they were doing on TikTok without, you know, very few rules. I like to think of people who make skits and everything, right? Over on TikTok can kind of be like a no man's land, but then you move over to YouTube, which has a little bit, you know, way more opportunities, and the opportunities are there, but you have to check yourself at that door. You know what I mean? Now, if you're a dancer or something like that or whatnot, then sure, you know, you don't have to worry about that. If anything, you probably have to worry about copyright from the music that you're playing. But yeah, so what a scene to pause on right here. But but stuff like this, right? That's essentially where it stays. It stays right there. You can't bring it over to YouTube because he's right. Advertisers are not they're just not going to want to.
And this makes a far larger difference than you might think. At this point, I think we can agree that TikTok is very much a worldwide platform. In 2021, it was literally the world's most popular domain, for crying out loud. So clearly, it's extremely popular across the globe. But guess what? 80% of TikTok's revenue still comes from China. And if you didn't know, the TikTok that we use is actually banned in China.
Yep.
You see, the CCP decided that mainstream TikTok is simply too vulgar and unproductive for the youth. So instead, they have a healthy version of TikTok.
You know, it's interesting. Okay, it's interesting you say that, right? At my job, I work with a couple of really like 20s and everything. Cause I'm 30. I almost forgot my age. I'm 32. I turned 33 this year. I work with a couple of people that are in their 20s and everything. And every now and then, you know, it's kind of just ask, people like, oh, what you got planned tonight and everything. You know, someone will say, I'm just going to sit down and just look at my TikTok hours and then go to sleep hours. Don't get nothing done. But then again, when I was 20, did I get anything done? I didn't have TikTok, but
and unproductive for the youth. So instead, they have a healthy version of TikTok called Douyin. Fundamentally speaking, it's the same app. The difference is the type of content that is posted and promoted on the platform. Douyin primarily promotes science, educational, and historical content instead of lip syncs and dancing. Furthermore, younger generations are limited to just 40 minutes of Douyin per day, so no hours of mindless scrolling.
I will sit here and think, now what's stopping the US from doing this? But that's a silly question. I think for something like this to come into play, it definitely has to fall into the hands of the parents, right? Because right here, that limited 40 minutes, do you know with technology, some of you probably don't know how easy it is to lock down your child's phone. Do you know how easy it is on both Apple and Android? It is very possible. But I think it's mostly just kind of laziness where you're just like, I don't want to have to go through all of that. It's very easy. I actually feel bad for my two kids because your dad works in tech. I mean, I think I'd have to be somewhere between 50 and 60 before technology stops. I stopped grasping stuff because I actively use my brain daily. I solve problems daily. Some of them are challenging. And I read somewhere that the more often that you keep doing that, the less likely the receptors for you gaining new information are less likely to die out. So I would 100% be controlling most of what my kid watches. Obviously, I don't have any control what he sees outside of my house, but I can do the best that I can as a parent here in the house, setting those foundations. You know what I mean? So something that we can easily do. 40 minutes, you put an app, it's easy, but we don't. So here we are.
And Douyin is extremely popular in China, but it doesn't quite stack up to TikTok. Douyin boasts 730 million monthly active users, while TikTok boasts 1.05 billion monthly active users. So TikTok is not only more popular, but people tend to spend far more time on TikTok. But despite this, China is able to account for 80% of TikTok's revenue because advertisers are actually interested in appearing next to Douyin videos. So until TikTok is able to address advertiser hesitation, TikTok will continue to face major monetization issues, leading to more creators migrating away.
Short form.
Advertisers no doubt play a massive role in how much is paid out to creators, but they're not the only issue plaguing TikTok. You see, short-form content is simply fundamentally harder to monetize because views are worth substantially less. On TikTok, for example, the average video is only 36 to 42 seconds long, depending on the size of the account. Even if we assume that these videos have 75% audience retention on average, each view only translates to about 30 seconds of watch time. Now, compare that to what we see on YouTube. Using myself as an example, my average video gets just under 7 minutes of average watch time, which, by the way, thank you. This means that the average view on my channel is worth about 14 views on TikTok.
Yeah. So, and it's actually kind of something. It's interesting that he says this because this is actually one of the realizations I've had on my channel. Lately, I've started doing longer reactions, right? And I've seen my viewer retention kind of jump towards the upper 45 to 50%, which is absolutely great. You want to shoot for around 57%. Shoot, if you can get anything over 30, that's even more amazing and everything. And the viewer retention is super important because, the longer that viewers are watched, then the ads that show. You know what I mean? But like you say, his viewer retention was around 6 minutes. That's average, which on this video would be just under half. That's good, right? We can't expect anybody to watch the entire video, you know what I mean? But if you can at least get to 50%, you're doing well. And more than likely, if that video that you're doing a review and reaction or making something like that, more than likely, the longer it is, the more retention it is, the more money that you'll end up making.
Why do I bring this up? Well, monetization has more to do with watch time than views. I tend to put an ad break once every 3 minutes, which means that the average view translates to 3 ad impressions. For simplicity, let's say that TikTok also shows an ad once every 3 minutes. Since each video is only watched for 30 seconds at best, a viewer would have to scroll through 6 TikToks before reaching an ad, and that's the best case scenario. More likely, they'll have to scroll through 10 or 15 TikToks before seeing an ad, but we'll call it 6 to give them the benefit of the doubt. This means that each view on TikTok only translates to 1/6 of an ad impression. Putting this next to YouTube, we'll see that each YouTube view translates to 18 times more ad impressions. So if we want to really create an accurate comparison between how much advertisers pay on YouTube versus how much they pay on TikTok, we can't compare views to revenue. we have to compare ad impressions to revenue.
So I'm gonna tell you something. I think one of the most alluring things when it comes to TikTok is just how easy it is for you to blow up. Now, I was doing TikToks for maybe about a month and a half, and really I was just kind of doing it just bring more attention and to my already established YouTube channel, and then YouTube introduced Shorts, so I just went straight away from TikTok for the reasons that he's saying right here because of all the things that you have to follow and all of that and whatnot. Um, dang, I didn't forgot. I done lost track of my thought. that, oh man, I done lost my train of thought. We'll keep it going.
We can't compare views to revenue. We have to compare ad impressions to revenue. YouTube generally pays $3 to $5 per thousand views in most niches. And as we previously touched on, TikTok only pays 2 to 4 cents per thousand views. But if we normalize based on ad
Oh, that's what I was going to say. That I wasn't, short form. I wasn't a short form creator. I'm more of a long form creator. Actually, no, that wasn't even my thought. My bad, y'all. None of my stuff is scripted. I just be going off top of the dome. I don't edit out any of my mistakes. That's what it do, baby.
only pays 2 to 4 cents per thousand views. But if we normalize based on ad impressions, we'll see that TikTok is actually paying 36 to 72 cents for the same number of ad impressions that you would get from 1,000 YouTube views.
I just remembered.
Still about 7 to 8 times worse than YouTube, but also about 18 times better than what the upfront number suggested. The only way to work around this obstacle is to move towards longer form content, which is exactly what TikTok has been trying to do.
Yeah, so that's what I was going to say. The allure of TikTok is that you could blow up with some of the most mediocre stuff. You really blow up. Like by a month and a half, I gained like 6,000 followers, which is small and everything. But 6,000, right? But when you come over here to YouTube, right? If you guys look at the statistics on how many channels have 100,000 or more subs, I think it was estimated around 28 million users, and out of that 9 million are active, and then out of that 9 million, the amount of channels that have 100,000 or more subs is just a tad bit over of 300,000, right? And then the number goes up a little bit more, but right now even 10,000, like if you were able to make it to 10,000 subs, that's still a good, you're still within a very, very top percent of YouTube and everything. So it's a lot more challenging over here. Like it's easy to kind of just get discouraged, which is why I think, like you said, a lot of people kind of go to TikTok to build a following and then bring it over here to YouTube. Because once you have that following, you can take all of your TikToks and make them into a compilation, right? And now you got a 13-minute video that might get an average duration of over 50%, right? So you just using TikTok, like I said, as a step ladder.
What started at a maximum video length of 7 seconds has grown all the way to 10 minutes. TikTok has also been testing with landscape mode, but increasing the average view duration isn't as easy as just getting creators to post longer videos. The algorithm highly values audience retention, so if TikTokers want their long-form videos to perform well, they have to increase video length without sacrificing audience retention. Also, you know how we see all those articles about our ever-decreasing attention spans? Well, if that's true anywhere, it's true on TikTok. So TikTok is very much fighting an uphill battle when it comes to monetization due to the fundamental nature of their content.
Yeah, long form video creation for
Hearing all
life.
this, you might be saying that this isn't just an issue on TikTok. Instagram and YouTube have also been promoting short-form content, so they should be facing the same issues, right? Well, you're right. YouTube and Instagram are indeed facing the same issues. With YouTube Shorts, for example, you can expect to earn 5 cents per 1,000 views.
I'm gonna tell you this right now. The amount of shorts that I probably uploaded, maybe it's in the 30s or 40s and everything. I haven't uploaded a short to this channel in months, and it might be even closer to a year. And my ad revenue that I got from shorts, I haven't even touched it. I ain't touched it in months. I got 26 cents, which actually was kind of surprising considering that I didn't upload anything for months. 26 cents is not a lot and everything, but if I had continued doing it, then it would have been nice little chunk change or something like that, if you will, or everything. But I found that very interesting because over at TikTok, I wasn't making anything. You know what I mean? But then again, I wasn't monetized. So but my views definitely weren't getting, I definitely weren't getting the traction on TikTok that I was on here. But then again, I do have an established base here, but I was pretty much doing the same stuff over there. As a matter of fact, they came from TikTok, the exact same videos. I bring them over here. Most of the people that were watching them weren't even subscribed to my channel. So not sure what that was all about.
But here's the thing. YouTube and Instagram are not tied down by short-form content. Short-form content is not their golden goose. It's simply an expansion effort. And they're already starting to decide that this expansion effort isn't worth it. You see, platform monetization is a two-sided coin. If creators aren't earning much money from ads, neither is the platform. At least the creators can go out and get brand deals and sponsors and affiliates and all that. For these platforms, their only revenue is ad revenue. So if that's garbage, the entire revenue from the whole effort is garbage, and that's exactly what seems to be playing out. In fact, according to Mark Zuckerberg, revenue from Reels is so garbage that Meta is losing $500 million per quarter because of users watching Reels instead of scrolling through pictures. Yeah, I don't think you'd be surprised to hear that Meta has stopped offering Reels bonuses to creators. So while Instagram and YouTube are very much in the same position as TikTok with Shorts, they're also not. They have the luxury of pulling back and focusing on what they were already doing.
Long
The
form
same
content.
cannot be said about TikTok. But then, what's the solution? Well, unfortunately for TikTok, there is no clear solution to their monetization problem. Again, this is literally why Vine shut down. What TikTok really needs is time. They need time for brands to become more open with the idea of advertising on TikTok. In the meantime, their best bet is to tinker with the algorithm to push longer form content that's more advertiser friendly. But this is also a pretty big gamble. This can lead to a sort of ad apocalypse like we saw with YouTube back in 2017. More edgy creators got pushed off the platform as family-friendly content got pushed to the top.
What was his name? Rocker World, or was it Rocker World, RCD World or something? The one with that the clown, and they were doing like really, really vulgar stuff and everything, right? They were doing big and everything, but like I said, the ad apocalypse kind of came in. They put a whole lot of restrictions on what could be in your video and what couldn't, and they got pushed out. If you go to their page right now, I think it was Rocker World, at the very top, their banner, it says demonetized. Yeah, they left. I wonder what they're doing now.
But the thing to note is that YouTube always had a good mix of edgy and family-friendly content, so the shift towards family-friendly content was more natural. With TikTok, on the other hand, we're primarily dealing with edgy content.
It's all edgy.
So the shift is a lot more jarring. And it's not clear how many viewers TikTok would push off the platform by making such a change. But with their peers already dropping out and pulling back, this might be the Hail Mary that TikTok needs to stay relevant over the long term.
Oh, is that the end of it? Oh no, okay, here we go. Okay.
As you can see, TikTok is very much facing a monetization crisis, and there is no easy solution. But there is a silver lining for TikTok. Unlike Vine, which was backed by Twitter, which in itself was not a profitable company, TikTok is backed by ByteDance, which has been posting record profits. In fact, they made it $25 billion last year. So
ByteDance.
losses
I'm
from
unfamiliar
TikTok
with
are
that.
definitely something that they can sustain even over the long term. Also, even if ByteDance can't pull it off on their own, they've got the backing of the CCP. You can bet that as long as TikTok is popular, the CCP won't let them go under, as TikTok is literally a goldmine for them. So from a financial perspective, they very much have time on their side, but they may not be able to say the same thing about their creators or viewers. Their creators are naturally pivoting towards YouTube to build stronger businesses with more revenue. And as for viewers, they could easily migrate back to YouTube with these creators. Also, TikTok faces the risk of their viewers growing up, kind of like what Snapchat is dealing with right now.
That 100% happened to me. 100% happened to me. I cannot even go near Snapchat. I don't know what it is. I despise the app, and I couldn't even give you a reason why. But it could be that I grew up. I just cannot do Snapchat anymore.
TikTok faces the risk of their viewers growing up, kind of like what Snapchat is dealing with right now. So, while TikTok may not be on the clock for financial reasons, they're very much on the clock due to trends amongst their viewers and creators. Will they be able to beat the clock? Well, only time will tell. While all this madness has been going on with short-form content, podcasts have surprisingly been doing better than ever on YouTube.
Yes.
If you want to learn
Oh,
why, check
yeah,
out this
okay.
video.
Yeah, podcasts are that's a whole nother thing. Podcast. All I'm gonna say is before we leave that video, and he probably is gonna talk about it in there, is your podcast being searchable in Google's search, because if YouTube decides to well, they already made the decision, but once people start uploading their podcast, it enters it into Google search, right? You putting it on YouTube, YouTube's owned by Google right now. And I read this in somebody else's video, heard in somebody else's video. You podcast hosting sites don't have search engines. Well, they have search engines, but it isn't more specific. But Google does, and Google's ironed it out very, very well. And Google owns YouTube. So once you start uploading your podcast to there, that's a whole nother thing. But anyways, y'all let me know what y'all think about the whole TikTok situation. It's the end of this video. If you enjoyed the content, leave a like and subscribe. Dave's out.